Happy New Year and welcome to 2025. This video is going to be a lot different than what I normally do. So, typically on my channel, I showcase a lot of the mobile games that I play, like Honkai Star Rail or Shadowverse. But today, I wanted to kind of do something a little different and showing you what games I play outside of mobile. So, today I'm going to do my Nintendo Switch collection. This will basically be the games that I have physically and some of the digital ones that I have as well. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So this will kind of give you an idea of what I do when I'm not, doing the mobile thing and when I just have some free time. All right. So we have Animal Crossing. First and foremost, I actually don't play this game. This is actually my girlfriend's, but it's part of my collection. So figured I'd show it off. It's a nice, cozy game. If you're into that thing, I got nothing against it. It's pretty cool. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, another game that me and my girlfriend play together. Um, just a lot of fun. I've loved Mario Kart since the beginning, so that's the thing. Then we have Triangle Strategy. So this is a really fun strategy RPG that has a really, really good story in terms of like how they present it and the fact that it incentivizes you to play it multiple times to get multiple endings and stuff. It's one of those games where your choices really matter because depending on what you pick, or what your party picks, I should say, determines what route you take in the story. It's very, very great at storytelling. I love it. And the combat's decent. Fire Emblem Three Houses, another excellent strategy RPG. Another one of those games that has a high replay value because depending on what house you pick determines what perspective you see the story in, and the story is very interesting. And of course, combat is decent as well. So you're starting to see like what kind of games I really, really into. We have Eiyuden Chronicle. So this is I believe from some of the people that made like the Suikoden series, and pretty good game. This is a turn-based RPG. Story is decent, and combat's fine. It's overall a decent game. I don't have any like strong opinions about it, but if you like turn-based RPGs, I think this is a good game to try. And we have Super Mario RPG Remake. So this is based off of the Super Nintendo original release decades ago, but with a little extras. Kind of fun. I like it. I mean, Mario RPG was a great game when it first dropped on the Super Nintendo, and the remake added a few things that just gives it more replay value. I've only played through it maybe once or twice on the Switch, just so I can pick up the things that I forgot the first time. But overall, a decent turn-based RPG. Really, really funny in the dialogue. We also have Star Ocean Second Story R. Now, I know this game originally came out decades ago, but I never played it. I didn't get into Star Ocean until I believe it was till the end of time on PlayStation 2. An old friend of mine that was a customer of mine at a comic store highly recommended it, talking about how great of a game it was, and I decided to buy it, and it was actually pretty good. So when I saw that this was being remade, I thought, well, I never played the original anyway. I'll give it a try. This is another turn-based RPG. Pretty good and decent story, decent combat, really, really good music. That's one thing I do have to point out that the music in this game is super, super great. But yeah, really, really good game. So Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Now I'm gonna be real with you. This was the first time that I bought a Mario game since I'd say Mario 64. Like, because I don't really play platformers anymore for the most part. But I decided since this was kind of a 2D based side scrolling kind of thing that I give it a shot just to see, do I still enjoy these games? And I'll say that overall it's fun, but I'm still not into the I guess platformer thing anymore. But if you like platformers, I think this will be fun for you. But yeah, and I think you can play it with multiple people as well, so it's kind of cool. Fire Emblem Engage. All right, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't like this game. this is this is the only Fire Emblem game I've ever played that I actually don't like. And I've tried playing this game at least 3 or 4 times. I'm gonna be honest. The combat's fine. Visuals are okay. Music is fine, but the story just doesn't do it for me. I just can't get into it. I can't even explain what it is about the story that doesn't do it for me. But I'm at the point to where I just don't care about the characters as much as I should. It's really really difficult to explain. But I'm gonna try playing it again sometime in the future. Maybe, if I watch some YouTube videos of people explaining why this game is good, maybe that can get me hyped up to try it. But this game is rough for me. Like, I love, Three Houses. I love Path of Radiance, but this game, I struggle with it. I really do. And when it comes to like strategy RPGs, the story does carry a lot of weight for me because as far as combat, a lot of times, it's kind of the same. It's pretty similar. They're not doing a whole lot to really get you interested in terms of combat, but it's really the story that determines whether the game is good or not, at least for most of them. And I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. Okay, so we have Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda. So I'm gonna be honest, I actually didn't buy this myself. Someone very important actually got this for me and my partner a while back, and we are very grateful, by the way. But yeah, this is my experience to an open world adventure game, and yeah, I think it's kind of cool. You know what I mean? I'm not usually the one to play like, sandboxy open world kind of games outside of, your typical turn based or strategy RPGs. But this is kind of one of those games if I just kind of want to travel and, slash some random goblins or whatever and collect stuff. Like, sure, I'll do that. Maybe do a couple of dungeons, but the dungeons in this game is weird because in the old school days, like you had like long puzzly dungeons where these dungeons are a bit short. So that was a little weird for me because the last time that I played a Legend of Zelda game was probably Ocarina of Time. So I'm dating myself basically. And of course, my favorite of all time would be A Link to the Past. But Breath of the Wild, I still think is good. I think that, with technology, they've made things look better. They've allowed you to kind of play with the game more. And I've heard that the newer Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, is like super good with a lot of the ways you can be creative, but I don't have that game at the moment. But I still say that overall it's a decent game, and I'm grateful for the person that gave this to us. You know who you are. And my last game that I have a physical copy of is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So this game was is a game that I give a lot of high praises to its world building. Like a lot of times you're traveling across this land and you're having to do like little things. You have to kind of liberate certain I forgot what I think they're colonies. You have to liberate certain colonies and you kind of, do little side quests for them. And then as you do things for people, it opens up new dialogues. Like, this is one of those games that kind of makes you care about the NPCs a little more because as you do different things, some of the dialogue options can change. And I really like it. I think it's a really good game. I think I played through it twice, I want to say. But yeah, overall, a really good game. I didn't play the DLC story. I've heard rumors that the DLC story is like amazing, but I wouldn't know, so I can't comment on that. But I might do that one day 'cause I think I have it, so I'll look into that. But those are all of the physical copy games that I have. Now I do have a few that I have digital only that I'm going to show you here on my actual OLED. Let me see if I can get this to focus a bit. So we have Unicorn Overlord. Now, I just started playing this recently. A very, very good friend of mine got me a $50 Nintendo Switch gift card for Christmas. So I just bought this recently with that gift card plus a little extra cash because it is about a $60 RPG. It is a strategy based RPG, and I'm going to tell you that this is my game of the year for 2024, 100%. The combat really carries this game. It kind of feels like an RTS mixed with a strategy RPG, and you could actually use like dozens of characters at once. Basically, you have like a party of up to five, and then you can have, I think it's like, what, 8 or 10 different squads of five? It's really, really cool. I love it a lot. Story is decent. With a lot of these strategy RPGs, a lot of times the story is like a wartime, lords and ladies kind of thing. I'm into that. I love it. But I could probably do an entire video about this game. This game to me is excellent. Like really, really strong. Probably in my top 10 of favorite games of all time. Super good. All right, we've already talked about Triangle Strategy, another great game. Let's see what else we have on here. Oh, here we go. Sea of Stars. So I wasn't able to find a physical copy of this. I don't know if it just doesn't exist or if my local stores just didn't have it. But either way, this is a fun little turn-based RPG. I kind of like it. It has sort of a Chrono Trigger kind of feel to it, kinda. But yeah, it's pretty decent. I like it a lot. Don't have a whole lot to say about it. I think it's pretty good. Actually, there is one thing I will criticize is that there are times, and maybe this is just a me problem, but there have been certain parts of the map that I find hard to see, so I get stuck sometimes, and it takes me a while to kind of figure out where to go. So, other than that, great game. All right, and the last game that I have on here is looks like the Final Fantasy X and X-2 collection. Anyone that knows me knows that Final Fantasy X is one of my favorite Final Fantasies of all time. Either number one or number two. I keep going back and forth between 9 and 10. But just there's a lot that I could say about this too. But this was one of my favorite games of all time, like in the top 10 easily. And it's just a great story, great combat, great music, great everything. Oh, and by the way, going back to Unicorn Overlord, the music in this game is pretty good too. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much everything that I have. The only things that I probably haven't shown you that might be like on my other Switch, because I have a Switch in the living room, like a regular one for like the family room when we like play our games together. That Switch I think has a Mario Party on it, so we played that on there. And I think I have a downloaded copy of Final Fantasy IX on there as well, because that's also one of my favorites. So I didn't get to show that here because I didn't feel like bringing out all my Switches. And I also have a Switch Lite somewhere in a box, but we recently moved, so I haven't dug it out yet. So there might be some games on there that I got before I got my OLED, but I can't remember what they are. But hopefully this was interesting to you. I've been a fan of Nintendo since the 80s. When I first got my first Nintendo, having to blow on cartridges to get those games to work. And now we have a Switch which, no longer has those issues that we had back in the 80s. Been a Nintendo fan forever. That's probably the console that I play the most. I definitely play it more than any PlayStation that I have. So, that's just what it is. But yeah, that's going to be all for today. Thanks for watching.